Mike's Daily Podcast.
FF episode 1734. I would like to apologize for the song that I sang at the beginning of every show. Apparently it's very catchy, and some people just can't get it out of their heads, and some people stopped listening to the podcast long ago because of it, and some people are just ambivalent about it. They're like, yeah, what? There's a song at the beginning of your show? And that's fine. That's how it is. It's different strokes for different folks. And
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Gary Coleman. But my name is Mike Matthews. Welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
At Café Anyway, I produce someone's podcast other than mine. It was a podcast, and I think it was pretty fine. It had a very interesting storyline, and I almost started to cry because it was pretty sad. It had to do with a student at a school that a friend of mine works for.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I helped produce the podcast. It sounded as good as something that NPR would put out.
Mike's
Or
Daily
Sarah Koenig.
Podcast.
Sarah Koenig?
Yeah!
She did Serial for all you podcast fans that are. Hey, I turned someone on to this podcast who probably doesn't even. I don't think he's ever listened to a podcast before in his life, but now he is listening to podcasts. But since he has my text number and my phone number, actually, you can call Café Anyway, look who just walked in, at 336MM Daily, and perhaps you will talk to someone like this.
Hello, Michael Matthews. It's Madame Rootabega. I had a wonderful weekend. What about you? Oh,
Well, I worked on someone's podcast.
I did too.
Oh, really? What was the podcast you worked on?
I worked on a cooking podcast.
Oh, I love those podcasts about food that you can't even see the food, but they talk about the food. Food. How do you say the word food? Do you say food? Some people go food. Or is that just me?
Michael Matthews, it's just you.
Michael Matthew, it's just me.
Yes, Michael Matthews.
Some people don't know what you're saying
Hi,
because of your accent.
it's Michael Matthews.
I am Michael Matthews. Okay, look who else walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the banking attendant, and look who just drove into Café Anyway.
Here's today's podcast picture.
This is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
The podcast picture. Hi, guys. Hey, hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hi, Geese. Geese! Geese is the name of that butter. Oh, my God. It's taken me 3 weeks to remember the name of that butter. Oh, Basil. Basil likes butter. Basil likes to run on the beach. Basil had a wonderful weekend. Basil got to relax. Basil. Basil is not in the podcast picture, though, today, although he is implied because I think I was holding onto his leash as this picture was taken. Unfortunately, in the shot, he is not in the frame. It is my lovely lady friend and I, and it is pumpkins because it's Halloween time and it's pumpkin time. And even though Halloween will be over with on Wednesday, yes, this is Halloween week.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Even though this is battleground state, Minnesota. Boy, they're going to have a hellish week of political ads. Don't even watch television. If you don't want political ads, don't watch TV. Don't give them the pleasure. Don't give them the money. Don't do it. Don't just watch Netflix. Watch YouTube. I know there's ads on YouTube too, but watch your DVDs. There's no ads on those except for ads for other. I hated those. When you'd watch a Disney movie, coming soon to Disney Laserdisc. And it'd be some awful, horrible Disney movie like Aladdin meets Godzilla. And Aladdin wouldn't be Robin Williams playing Aladdin. It'd be the guy who does Homer playing Aladdin. Go! And you'd be like, Mayday! At any rate, ghee is that buttery stuff. Oh, Desi ghee. That's delicious stuff. The point is that somebody that I know that does not ever listen to podcasts, listened to my show, and heard me talk about the term equally yoked. That's somebody that I know who is now a devout Christian or born again. Let me say, I know to some of you the word born again is important because you had maybe before you got born again, you had a life that was maybe sinful, quote unquote, into the Bible standards. And I don't see life through those lenses that you do, because at an early age, I was thrown right into a Christian school. I was thrown into the Baptists, and then after the Baptists, the Catholics. And actually, while I was with the Baptists, I was also seeing the Catholics. It was memorizing Bible verses. It was talking to priests. It was talking to pastors. It was talking to everybody. I was just wrapped up in Christianity as a child. So I did not ever get into cocaine as a child. I was offered it. Hey, Mike, would you like some cocaine? And I said, no, I don't want that white powdery stuff up my nose. That seems ridiculous. Why? But it was a thing, so I didn't have that I didn't live completely the life, as it were. I was quite the little prude, I guess, would be the best word. Prune? I wasn't a prune. I'm turning into a prune the older I get, but yeah. So I know, though, that when, let's say I've had a huge fattening meal, I do have the impulse afterwards to go, oh God, I need to go on a diet. This is what Christians have gone through. This is a lot of Christians. And I know you are going to heaven, and I know you're living a clean, good life, and you're nothing but good, wholesome people to other people in this world. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that it's a thing. And I get a little bit when I hear the pendulum swing so strongly the other direction because of something you did previously in your life. I see that. And you see me seeing that. And in the end, I can't judge. Because if I judge, I'm going to be judged. And in the end, I throw all that out the window anyway, because I appreciate people for what they are. End of story. I don't care the color of your skin, what language you speak. If I do, that's wrong, and I need to clear that up. Toot sweet. That's my thing. I know we judge. We are judging little creatures. Yet this book, the Bible, says don't judge. And a lot of other religions say that. And that's of note, because that's something, if that's a constant, that says something. I love the constants in religion. The things like treat people as the golden rule is in every religion in some way. But I know everyone's religion, my religion's better than your religion. There's some of that, and I don't like that either. The point is that somebody I know wrote me after I talked about being equally yoked. And he made a joke of that. I'm sorry, we can't be friends because we're not equally yoked. Love to talk to you about that statement. He said, some Christians are like teenagers. They need to be put in a barrel until they grow up. Yes, I was put in a barrel No, we don't need to. Teenagers do not need to be put in barrels. And anything, they need to get out there and see what it is. They need to do the what the Amish do, where they say, go on, you've got that. What's it called? Ramadan? No, that's the other thing. Rosh Hashanah? That's something else. I'm naming all these other things from other religions. The thing. I just had it, and dang. Top of my head isn't working today. I apologize. Anyway, the text goes on. I apologize for any that have offended you, including us. We love you guys. Christians don't offend me. I am just a little bit uneasy when anyone is, I don't know, what's the term? If you push something on someone, what is that? I know that's what evangelicals are all about, because Jesus said, go out to the world and spread the gospel. Okay, that was when Christians were being thrown to lions. That was the Roman Empire. Oh my gosh, there's something on Netflix. It's actually not that good. I don't know why I'm telling you about it. But it was interesting in that it broke down all the things that Romans were doing. And they basically went through Christians like they were crackers, just chewing them up, throwing them to the lions, and doing all kinds of debaucherous things. Yes. But hey, guess what? We live in a country that was founded by Christians. We live in a society where, I mean, the Vatican is huge and has its influences all over the world. It's a different world we live in. And Christ's message has definitely gotten out, and his religion has spread around the world. But I don't get the whole pushing thing. Anyway, people, let's not talk too much about religion today, although we have. But that's the thing, is nobody, I'm not offended. It's just that I see the people that are brainwashed, and I know when I'm talking to them, it sometimes feels like I'm not talking to them, that I'm getting this glazed over, it's not really there. And then once in a while, after I've known someone for a while, I see the glimpses, and all that goes away, and then we're down to the real nitty gritty, and then that's fine. But sometimes you meet people, and it could be any religion. It's not just Christianity. It's anybody, or it can be anything. For example, the world of Herbalife, the world of Tupperware, the world of the stuff, the pyramid schemes and whatnot. People get all glazed over in the face. That frightens me. And you know who taught that to me was my mom. Because I used to love the glazed over face people. I'd be, warm love bomb hug. I love this so much. And then my mom would be, they're actually, and I'd be, what? And she'd be, yeah. And I'd be, huh? And then we would go and watch Love Boat, which was a fantastic show that had actors that, I just pressed the button and nothing happened. Oh, there it goes.
Exciting and
I don't know anything. The point is that's what turns off people to Christianity or to any other religion. But whatever. Hey, go to a church this weekend. I have a friend whose father is a preacher, and she has herself had some doubts about things, and her father was cool, I could see her becoming a preacher someday. It's just something like different people find their way to their different destinies, is all I'm saying. But the point is that I had a wonderful weekend where somebody's podcast that I helped work on, they actually gave me credit at the end. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Yes, I work on all these podcasts, all these shows, and I never, ever, 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 ever get a mention. Nobody ever says, thanks to Mike Matthews for producing my show. Ever. It's a thankless job. But somebody thanked me on their podcast, and I appreciate it to no end. Hey, yesterday was the 23rd... No, wait. It was somebody's 23rd birthday yesterday. And that's good. But that's not what I wanted to say with the sentence. I wanted to say that was my 6-month anniversary. There we go. I don't know why the number 23 popped into my head. Perhaps it just popped into yours, and that's what happened. It's been 6 months since I've been dating the lovely lady friend of mine. So it was a fun anniversary yesterday, and we clapped and cheered, and it was wonderful. And yeah, we had some things happen in the world that weren't so good, and religion was involved in that. So I think at that point we should wrap up the podcast and say we should all keep our heads, and hopefully better angels will prevail in this world. Did I tell you about my mom's Ouija board? Speaking of, in Germany, in the very poor town that my mom lived in as a child, they had no connection, no phones, nothing. It was like a poor town in the mountains. I think she said they actually mined coal. And during the war, everybody was gone. and they were all alone. They were isolated up there. So they would use Ouija boards to try and figure out what was going on. That was like their last-ditch attempt. And my mom was telling me this story the other day as Hurricane Michael was blowing through, because she lives in Florida. And right as she was telling me that she thought one of her aunts might have been a witch, there was a huge lightning strike somewhere near here, and the thunder that I heard over the phone. A big boom, and I go, Mom, are you okay? What happened? She goes, wow. My aunt is laughing. She's laughing and playing in the sky with the lightning. So that was an interesting thing. Okay, that was an interesting podcast. I don't know if that was the best way to kick off the week, but whatever. We approached some issues. Next show, it will be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. Thanks for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!